another day. Seems like only yesterday I beheld your sweet face in my lonely room. My memories of your warm embrace. Gloria, my Gloria. Things ain't been the same since you've been away, away, away. Gloria, oh my Gloria, Gloria. I don't wanna see another day, another day without you. Oh, I found the nerve to say I'm gonna make a change in my life, starting here today. Oh, I surrender all my love. Never thought I could. No, giving all my love away. There's only one reason that I would. Baby, it's you. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you say my name, your smile, the way you move me, the way you soothe me, the way you sleep softly through the night. Every morning you rise and open your eyes. I just wanna be there with you, babe. I just wanna be yours from this day forward. You talk, the way you say my name, your smile, the way you move me, the way you soothe me, the way you sleep softly through the night. Every morning you rise and open your eyes. I just wanna be there with you, babe. I just wanna be yours from this day forward.
The pain of our past persists to this day. In Kentucky, like many states throughout the South, lynching was a tool of terror. It was used to kill hopes for freedom. It was used to kill my ancestors. Now, in a historic victory for our Commonwealth, I have become the first Black Kentuckian to receive the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate. My opponent, the very person who compared expanded health care to slavery. The person who said he would have opposed the Civil Rights Act. The person who single-handedly blocked an anti-lynching act from being federal law. The choice couldn't be clearer. Do we move forward together? Or do we let politicians like Rand Paul forever hold us back and drive us apart? In November, we will choose healing. We will choose Kentucky.
bounds through advocacy, spreading joy and awareness for all to see. There's no community without you and me. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We build each other up. We expand our networking and resources. We never give up. We stand for what is right. We never go down without a fight. The African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. I say, it takes a village to become a community. So community, please stand up. We are waiting.
Football is back, and BetOnline remains your number one source for all your football betting needs this season. Hey, what's up? It's your man Lloyd Spence, and I'm so excited because it's been a great football season already. You'll find the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends at betonline.ag. And as your continued source for all sports wagering info, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, live scores, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events like Major League Baseball, MMA, tennis, boxing, and even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, to receive your rewards. Why? Because it's Bet Online, and that's where the game starts. And tell them the Noise Maker sent you.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in the back of a can. Put the big rubber world and the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world.
Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ. 2, 1, ready, come on.
Part two. And I hope y'all ready. Where is my organization?
Ain't we lucky we got 'em?
Will it not bring you? Ladies and gentlemen, in part 2 of our list tonight, we're talking noise. It's just me and all the boys and girls. It's kind of like boys and girls. But we're glad to be here with you tonight for part 2 of the revival. Grab your church hands and your Bible. And we're having a very specific offering tonight. So get your tithing envelope, your special envelope, and let's get ready to make some noise. Amen and amen. White organ, just a little bit now. I don't need you to sing everything, but just a little bit if you don't mind. Let the people say, oh, I love you. Oh, I love it. Oh, 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 oh. Thank you for me, white organ this day. Amen and amen. Mama Noise, how you doing tonight?
I'm well.
You come in with the echo. How you come in with the echo? What's that about?
She says
Try it
she's well,
again.
boy. She's well.
Try it again. I made her leave. Mama Noise, come back. Come back. Let's try it again. Let's see. Here she goes. All right. Now try it again. How you doing, Mama Noise? Why you gotta look like that?
Well, there's still an echo, but hey.
Don't worry, Mama Noise. We're gonna press on. We press on in Jesus' name.
Hey, it might be me. Let me mute and see if it. Mom knows I'm a mute, and then you talk. See if it's me.
Let's try that. Let's see what happens. All right, go ahead, Mama Noise.
I'm well.
Nope, it ain't me.
Oh, that's all you. Why is it so? Turn your volume down. Maybe if you turn your volume down. Let's see if you turn your volume down.
I'm well, but I'm deaf.
Okay, now try it again. Unmute and turn your volume down. It was strong. Try it again.
I'm well.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. You and Al talk while I say something now, Mama Noise. Say something
No,
now.
sir. Go ahead and throw. Go ahead, Mama Noise.
Yes, I'm well. Okay.
It's still not great. All right. Talk to Al while I come fix your stuff. But not me as much as it is production.
Is it better?
Hey, girl. Hey.
Is it better now?
Oh, so you turned the light off and thought that would fix the audio?
No, I thought it would. If I unplug my what that the plug thing here?
I don't know.
ISB or USB is what it is. I unplugged that one.
I don't know. It could be. Where's your mic?
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
That's my microphone?
No,
You just come in there pressing buttons?
I'm pressing buttons.
Well, I can do that.
You know what?
And
Stop
you
doing
all at the
stuff.
same
Stop doing
time.
stuff. We on live TV.
What's your point?
I won't be frisked on live TV.
I've been married to you for 23 years. Frisk
You
away.
gotta answer yourself. Hey, this is my no-no square. Don't touch me there.
Now wait a minute. You shouldn't have a no square after 23 years.
Try it. Just
She's
going
pressing on the upward way. Come on.
with just the light. Do you need that thing?
What?
Do you need it?
Do you want me to be in the dark?
No.
I can do that.
No. Go ahead.
I'll be like Al and just be behind a avatar.
All right. Let's see if we can work it out. I don't think it's as bad as it was. Oh yes.
I'm unmuted.
I think that's about good as it's gonna get.
Especially since you turned down my
That's
microphone.
about good as it's gonna get. Al, can you hear me?
He's muted.
Yes.
All right. Is my noise still echoing?
Say something, Mom Noise.
Hey, Dion.
Dion.
I think it's probably as good as it's gonna get. We're gonna press through.
You know what, Al? Just because they call you Savage Al don't mean you got to be Savage.
We might have to get you some headphones, Mama Noise.
Did you like that, McKenna?
That you can talk through.
Okay.
And that's how that's gonna work for you. But we'll work on that. Okay. I got a couple of quick church announcements while we working on some stuff. Well, we gonna show them. We showing them what it look like. Here's the first church announcement. Y'all, we got to get this number up.
Facts.
We got to help Unc get this number up. That's why I got my Unc Noise hat on tonight. We got to help Unc get this number up. So whatever we got to do to get to this number, let's make it happen, y'all. We got to get Unc to the right number.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, where's the actual thing? Like there's a link. There it is. Okay. Uncle's out here battling and fighting for us. Let's fight for him. You know what I mean? There's the link. Write it down. Take a picture. Whatever you got to do, but let's make it happen. Noise Media is working on a separate thing, but we got it because it's bigger. But those y'all can help Unc if you don't mind. Help Unc get this thing where it needs to be. All right?
Any amount helps Unc get to the goal.
Yep. All right. I just want to make sure. And it'll be scrolling at the bottom for the rest of the show. So there you go. All right. What else we got? Oh, I'm excited. I'm always excited about Uncorked Wine. I'm especially excited when Al gets the game night. Because Al be coming with some good ideas, and he's a great host. And I know we're gonna laugh and have a good time when Al is hosting. So Al is a great host, so I can't wait for that. I'm excited about that. And but before we get to game night, we got Black Friday, the search for the crown. And guess what? You got to be here tomorrow to find out what that's all about. But man, look at production. Production. Let me just give production its props. That flyer is off the chain.
Woohoo!
That flyer is off the chain. That's nice. The search for the crown looked like a sermon, like you're gonna preach on Sunday morning. Like it should have some Game of Thrones music behind it. The search for the crown. Boom, 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 boom. By the way, I've been watching this new House of Dragon thing. Game of Thrones. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready. I was not ready. It's a lot.
What one you not ready?
Huh?
What is
it? Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
The new House of Dragon.
I don't have what it takes.
It's a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I was not prepared. So that's all I got to say about it right now. But it's a lot.
Well, you be looking for something that's going, exciting. So
listen, it's incredibly exciting. And
so excited. It's I heard it was almost like a soft porn.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So it's soft porn, huh?
It's different than the porn you be watching, though.
No, I don't watch that. I done told you that.
What?
You keep saying that about my Asian movies I watch. That is not true.
Albie. She calls them movies.
That you should be ashamed of yourself.
Should I? Should I?
Yes, you should, because they are
Asian porn. I'm not.
They're not. You know what? So, don't know what they're talking about doesn't mean
you don't know what they're talking about either.
I read the print that goes across the closed caption.
So you like porn?
That's what we men used to say about Playboy. Oh, we read the magazine.
We read for the articles. On House of Dragon, a lot. On Mama Noise shows, I don't know.
There's not any.
I'm gonna go ahead and answer your question, Anthony Bruce. No. We will not be sending the link.
I'm just saying.
That's me about when Mama Noise talk about her Asian porn.
It's not. I give up. I really do.
Why are you giving up, Mama Noise?
Sorry, mute and moderate.
Yeah.
Mama Noise, don't give up. It's not. And there's no nudity at all.
Mama, no, don't give up on the Lord. Don't give up on us.
No, you just don't like to watch it with me. That's
I don't like to watch it with. I don't want to watch something that's all subtitles.
You did watch that Lupin, and that was all French.
But that was good though.
What?
But I watched it in English. I didn't watch it in I didn't watch it in French. I watched it in English.
So were the translation, was it in English but with a French accent?
No, it was English with an English accent.
Okay.
Like it was just English. There wasn't no French, nothing. You can watch it in the original French where they're speaking French, and you can watch the English subtitles. But that got annoying, so I just watched it in English.
Oh, well, see, that's what I don't do. I listen to it in its native tongue, and I read the closed captions in English.
I can see that.
It ruins the steaminess of it.
It's not steamy. That's what I keep trying to tell old rockhead, old blockhead, Mr. Noise.
I'm just, I don't know. I'm just going by what Lloyd says.
I'm just saying. They make a lot of noise on that show. That
it's awesome. It's
unborn related. If
there is nothing like that, I encourage my kids to watch it.
Don't say that.
What?
No. There is a whole other world out there in foreign films. There's some good foreign films out there, like really good stuff.
I really enjoy them now. I'm sitting there going, because sometimes I'm watching the average movies that come on all the different streaming sites. I'm going, okay, been there, seen that. This blows up. She gets kidnapped. Okay, all right. But when I'm watching it in watching a foreign film, I'm going, okay, I don't know what to expect, but it's a lot of karate, martial arts. It's exciting,
I guess. So it's not the breast. It's just all the other stuff that you like. What? I like teasing Mama Noise about it. It's funny to me. It's my pleasure.
And Azari, when you start listening to Uncle Al, I'm muted and moderating.
Because Uncle Al is Uncle Al. That's why she listening. She listening to her elders.
It was nothing to mute and moderate about.
Well, tomato.
She don't want to hear about her mama's porn habits.
I wouldn't want to. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it.
Oh, she's having technical difficulties, Lord.
I'm gonna know we already got the sound working. Come back to the screen before you mess it up again.
Not unless you and Al apologize.
Oh. Sorry, Mama Noise.
I apologize, but my mic was muted. Sorry.
We apologize. Now get back on the screen and stop.
I saw your lips moving that you don't apologize, Lloyd.
I did apologize. I didn't say I didn't apologize.
I apologize. I seen you moving
I
your
didn't
mouth.
say that. That's not what I said.
What'd you say then?
I said I apologize.
No, it's not.
That's what I said.
Saying.
All right.
Putting that narrative out there that I'll be doing that old sideways stuff.
All right. No narratives. No new narratives. Listen, we got another good show. We got the part 2 going today. And I'm excited about that. And I'm always excited about the noisemakers and what we're doing on this show. I really am. I got a question that I want to start with because we extensively talked about the relationship between black men and black women on the show last week. And, building this new black city. So I do have a question to start out the new show today, the part 2. We say we want to build a new black city. We say we want to build a new culture, a new standard by which we as black people need to live. So my question to you is, it's a multiple choice question. A, B, C, or D are the answer. A, B, C, D, E. Yes, are the choices. Who leads this new black city? Is it A, the black father, B, the black pastor, C, the black leader, D, the black woman, or what is the perfect combination? What is the perfect combination? Yeah, Mama Noise, you go first.
I would have to say it has to be the black woman and the black man.
Well, which black man though? We named like 3 different ones. Who's going to lead the new black city, and meaning to help us reestablish the black culture in our society? Is it the black father, the black pastor, a new black leader that rises up, or a group of black leaders that rise up, black women, or is there a combination of, well, what's the perfect combination, I guess that's the E question. Mama Noise came in and said it's the black father. No, she said, no, you said the black woman and the black man, but you didn't get specific as to which black
father.
So you say it's the black father and the black woman. And I guess I should have put an F because do you mean black woman or black mother?
I guess a good place to start would be, what's the difference?
Well, one has children and the other one doesn't. And that could be significant, depending what we're desiring from the leadership of the black mother or the black woman or the black father or the black man.
Well, it's like what Tara said in the chat. It's the black man and the black woman is what I was trying to say. But
so maybe we should put black man and black woman together, and then black father, black mother together. And that's probably a more fair question. Because is it, and the reason why I say that is maybe it's every black man and every black woman's responsibility, not just the black father and the black mother. Or is it the black father and the black mother who are parenting the next generation and they have a direct influential line on that black child?
See, I was going to completely agree with Mama Noise.
Okay.
But now I'm going to change that.
Okay.
I'm going to say the black husband and the black wife.
Ooh, a new category has entered the realm.
Because I think if we are building a new black city, the foundation has to be the family. So that's all inclusive. So that's the mother, the father, husband, wife. I'm going to say husband, wife, because I don't want a mother and father without a husband and wife. I think that's what led us down the path that we are now. So I'm going to say the husband, the wife, because I think the family has to be the foundation.
Tar said parents aren't the only influence on the kids' village. I agree. I don't know if anybody said they were. I'm agreeing with you. But they're the first influence, or at least they should be. So now we got the black husband and the black wife. So now we're putting on a demand, or can I say demand? Is that fair to say demand? We're putting a demand on the black.
You say it, I'll accept it.
Husband and the black wife to create a black family.
I'm going to agree with it. Because I say that because the journey we took got us to the place we're at. And it didn't work. So we got to go back.
Because think about what we're saying when we ask this question. And this is why this question is so powerful. The candidates are the black father and the black mother. But the requirement was not that they be together. They just had to parent the best way they could. And that kind of works, but maybe in some ways it kind of doesn't. Because it depends on both parents showing up and being active, being setting good examples, setting good standards. It depends on a lot of things. So then we said, well, maybe if we take them to the church, the black pastor can lead and create an environment where these kids can grow. And some of that works and a lot of it doesn't. Because it requires a perfection or well, he's just not able to do it. I mean, we can get into the reasons why as the show unfolds, and then no new black leaders have risen up.
Shouldn't have to. I don't think we even have to entertain the other two, pastors or leaders. There's no trust there.
Right.
Whatever the reason, but I think it was designed spiritual consciousness should have been in the home anyway. It shouldn't have been outside the home. We shouldn't have been looking to individuals.
Right.
That's why I said study the show thyself approved.
Yeah. So Tar's leaning toward just black men and black women.
But I do agree with her in her statement that how can we be the good husband and wife without being the good black man and black woman first?
Okay, so what does that mean? What does it mean to be a good black man and a good black woman? What does that mean?
Well, then it means it can't be.
Or what should it mean? I'll say it that way.
I believe that we can't narrow it down to just married folks being good first. That we as a people need to take on the responsibility.
Okay, so what does it mean?
Okay, I thought that's what I just said.
No, you didn't say it. I'm asking you, what does it mean? Like, define what a good black woman is? Define what a good black man is. And I'm not just talking to Mama Noise, I'm talking about everybody. Tar offered up honesty. Integrity. Okay, she's offering up one at a time, but okay.
I like it.
Okay, honesty, integrity.
Loyalty.
Fiscal responsibility, loyalty. Okay. What does loyalty look like? Does loyalty look like what does loyalty look like? I won't define it. As Doc said, I think if people start doing a better job in the house, everything else follows. It also has to be more action and less talking. Okay, spiritual foundation, the spiritual sense of community. I like all of those.
Okay. Loyalty. That you're not somebody that if you as a man or a woman, you're deciding that you're wanting to take the next step toward marriage, then it's something that you plan on being committed to. It's not something that you're saying, well, there's so many fish in the sea, I just can't make up my mind. If you're gonna be that, then just be out here single. Don't be trying to give somebody false hope.
But isn't being out here single part of the problem?
Huh?
Isn't being out here single part of the problem?
Why is it part of the problem?
Because the way you said if you're not gonna be committed and faithful, then you need to be single, which implies that if you're single, you don't have the responsibility of marriage, and you can pretty much do whatever single men today do. Doesn't being single, in order for this to work, have to be redefined as something else? See, I think the reason why I like the way we're headed in this conversation is because in order to get what we want, like, it doesn't matter to me whether you say black men or black women, or if you say black fathers, black mothers, or if you say black husbands and black wives. The standard by which we define those things shifts dramatically if we're talking about a new sense of community. Because now we're saying this is who we are. This is the expectation of what it means to be this thing. And we as a community have to be intolerable to anything, not intolerable in the sense of we have to hold each other accountable for those who are struggling to find whatever the standard is, or to meet the standard. Not saying that we're going to beat them down, but we may not celebrate that in replace of other things that person might be doing. Like we said, like when this person might have a lot of money, but if they suck at marriage, we can't lift that person up as the standard for marriage. I'm saying, how do we redefine what the standards are going forward? Like you said, stay single. If you're going to be out in these streets, stay single. Okay. Well, what does that mean? What does staying single mean? Or what should it mean? Or we can do both. What does it mean? What does staying single today mean? What should it mean? What does it mean? What should it mean in a responsible black community?
If there was some way that we could have where it would be really clear that this particular person, it's something that speaks for them even before you even speak to them, that says before this person even crossed paths with you, they declared that they're not looking to be married. Well, then that means that whoever it is that crossed paths with them wouldn't even waste their time trying to start a conversation in hopes of the possibility of something further. if that person, we know off top that person has no desire to get in a relationship.
Here's what makes what you're saying interesting to me. And Al, I would love for you to comment on this because I know you are currently going through this, and so is Tara. If you state from the beginning, I am not looking for marriage at all, then we place you in this category. I'm just spitballing here. Place you in this category or this lane, and now the expectation, we eliminate that expectation from your life. You are not trying to get married at this stage of your life. Now, that may change, but the requirement in the Black community is for you to state that early, let us know where you stand, and then that way there's no confusion. Like maybe a card or something. Hi, my name is Al. I'm not trying to marry you. I'm just here for a good time. So whatever that agreed upon good time is, then that is a group of people who function in that lane with men and women. They understand the consequences of that. They understand the circumstance by which that functionality works, and they're willing to stay in that lane. And maybe there should be but I'm saying in our community, should there be a punishment or a penalty when you break the rules?
So, the reality is, Lloyd, there's always going to be those that infiltrate other circles. There's always going to be that man that wants more than what he claimed he desired. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that woman that feels like he said he don't want marriage, but when I throw it on him, when I show him this red beans and rice and this cornbread and this chicken, and I can change his mind. So there's always going to be those. What was the diagram we learned in math, where all the graphs, the circles overlap one another in that area where they all overlap?
I want to say the word that keeps popping up in my head is Venn diagram, but I don't know if that's it. So y'all help me with that. Is it a Venn diagram?
Yes, that's it. It's a Venn diagram. We had it with the
I just kept hearing the word Venn diagram. Yes,
yeah, that's it. And Tara is absolutely correct. We don't call out the infiltrators because they friends and family. And we don't call them out. And we don't hold each other accountable. You just like, that's just peanut. He don't mean no harm. But look.
Not only do we not call them out, we celebrate them.
Yeah.
It used to be just men celebrating them, but now everybody's celebrating them. So the new season of Love is Blind is happening right now on Netflix. At some point, me and Mama Noise will probably get on and talk about it.
What is it?
Love is Blind. The social experiment to find love through ridiculous.
I think because of a friend, I binged the whole season.
What was your thoughts on it, Al? I'm curious.
I hate to admit it, I really liked it. It was really good. But part of me, a large part of me is like, it's not possible. And she and I went back and forth. She's like, hey, it is absolutely possible. I was like, no, it's not. There is no way you obtained enough data to properly propose marriage to someone in 10 days.
Well, so far, they've done 3 seasons, and out of 15 couples,
I don't want to know because I'm only. No, don't tell me nothing.
Okay.
Because I am only 1 week into. No, I may have seen more.
Are you in season 2?
They're already reunited in hotels and stuff as engaged couples.
In season 1 or season 2?
I don't know. It might be season 1.
Okay.
No, it might be the last season because at the end of it, it was like October 26th. So I guess I may be current.
You may be current. Yeah, I don't know.
Give me one couple that was on Raven. Which season was she on?
Well, that's right now.
Oh, that's now. That's what I'm watching.
That's happening right now. Yeah. Raven is happening right now.
and SK and
Oh yeah. You right. You in the real time. Okay.
Is the ultimatum?
I saw the new ones as well. No. Ultimatum is a different show. That's the extended version of Love Is Blind. That's
okay. So you and I both seen season 1 and 2.
Okay, we watched season 3, 4 episodes.
Yes.
Up to season 3.
Yes. And here's what makes the experiment interesting is that there's rules that they're having to follow. If you break the rules, you can't stay in the game or whatever. I think there's a merit to at least that part. The accountability and calling out the infiltrators could be important to the develop. Because here's the thing. Here's what we know about where we are societally. We're not going to eliminate all the guys that just want to be hoes. And we can't change the game back from the women who see an advantage of allowing them to be hoes and taking advantage of that and saying, I'll meet you at your hold'em. I don't want to say hold'em. That sounds rough. We'll say people who want to be sexually free. Is that a better way of saying it?
Okay.
That might be part of the problem too, because we're redefining promiscuity as normality.
Okay. I know that Al said personally that he feels like it's not possible. But I will tell you, as a person who has experienced Mr. Noiz and I, we dated for 30 days.
Yeah, but not blindly.
Yeah, but you know, you saw me and everything, but still, it still took a matter. You didn't have to say, okay, it's been 30 days. Would you marry me? You could have said, well, yeah, I need to, check her out. I need to check her references
out.
But didn't you say that your paths had crossed before from his time at the radio station and yours in the record store?
No, that wasn't part of the.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That was before y'all began dating, right?
Right.
Yeah, I saw
That's what set up the first date.
Yeah, y'all had encounters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't an encounter where, of the average situation.
But these people have never seen, and that first series of dates, 10 dates or 10 days,
right?
Regardless of how many dates they choose to have with one another, never seen.
Well,
they don't even know if the person.
They don't know how they look. They don't know.
And I'm not saying looks are important. I'm just saying absolutely nothing.
Well,
like this guy comes from behind this closed door and he likes to put underwear on his face.
Right.
How are you going to cope?
Well, I'm not saying exactly like them, but most people that when we tell them our story, they can't even fathom that we.
Mama Noiz.
Absolutely, and I agree with you, Mama Noiz. That is like the ultimate fairy tale fantasy come true. Because what are y'all, 23, 24 years in?
Almost 24.
Amazing, beautiful. But I would say that you and Lloyd are exemplary of anomaly.
There's no question about it. And that's why I don't like to use that as an example. Because I know it was a unbelievably unique set of circumstances that brought it all together. Like, when you really look at the totality of how we came together, it was only God that could have done that. There's only God. There's no logical reason why this should have come together the way that it did. So I don't like to use that as the example. And I think it's important to distinguish that, Mama Noiz. I understand what you're saying, that you're saying there's a similarity, but not really, because I get what you're saying when you say there's a similarity in that we didn't have all of the information that some couples get.
I mean, I didn't know anything about you other than you liked when I was working at the record store. You came in looking for gospel music. I mean, I didn't know your history and all this other stuff.
I got you. And again, I get that similarity. We didn't date for a year and then get engaged for a year and then get married after all that. You're 1,000% correct in that regard. I think, to me, what makes it very different is that they had even more information than we had. They have even less information, and they decided to get married within really 5 to 6 weeks from top to bottom.
Engaged, not married.
No, married.
Oh, do they really? See, I'm
10 days. Well, but that's right. This is your first season in watching it. So 10 days to the dating, and then 4 weeks to the marriage. Okay. So now you can back out. You don't have to do it, but for those who do it, I mean, they're working off very limited information.
I really admire the success if it should happen.
Well, let me say this. Let's build on what we're talking about. Are they giving us a blueprint? Because the one thing I will say, without revealing anything that happened in season 2 and 3, 1, and what's probably going to happen in this season, because we know the pattern now, Mama know it. It doesn't appear that you avoid any less heartache in these situations.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't appear that you do. Like it looks like it ends up about the same. If it don't work, it don't work, and it's crushing. Because now you've done it in front of millions of people.
If I remember correctly, they do get to see, like, these are all the different people that are participating in the program, but you don't know what the people's names are.
I didn't catch that. I don't think they have any physical awareness of who's participating.
You don't get anything. The only thing you get is the guys see all the guys, the girls see all the girls. And then you go into those pods and you find out names of the opposite sex in the pods.
Okay.
But you don't get a chance. You don't get a list before you get on the show. No, you find out when you get in there. It's a raw situation. Well, but is there some merit to it? And what I mean by that is, they say insanity. We talk about a lot of this. We've lied for years and said that the definition of insanity was this, but really it was the Alcoholics Anonymous definition of insanity. We're doing the same thing and getting a different result. We've tried the current standards of dating since the beginning of time, or at least let's say the last 30, 40 years. And it has gotten, I would say, very, very strongly mixed results, and maybe leaning more toward the unfavorable levels of results. So how do we revamp it to where, and let me go back to another part, because you mentioned husbands and wives, Al. How do we revamp the black man and the black woman to the point that you get on the other side a husband and a wife circumstance? Like, how do we get there? Do we set a new standard and say, listen, don't enter into this lane unless you are truly serious about this thing?
Here's what I take so far from Love is Blind.
Yeah.
You are forced to overcome and look beyond the superficial stuff.
Yes.
The physical appearance.
Yes.
The status, all that's erased. So you're forced to see people, learn people, get to know people for what they are. And I think that is the key. I think society today, we can't get past what our eyes see, what our nose smells.
Right.
You know what I mean? So especially for men. You know, we are physical creatures. Women are emotional creatures. So we are driven by what we see. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're driven by what we see too.
Not to the same.
He's not saying that. He's not saying that, I'm Lord.
Yeah. Well,
he's not saying that.
I can't speak for women other than the ones that I've dealt with, and most women that I deal with aren't as hung up on physical appearance. How does he treat me? How does he make me feel? Does he listen to me? Is he compassionate? Those are the things I hear from the women that I deal with. I don't hear the women in my circle talking about, oh man, he's got to be ripped, but that's just me, my circle.
What I liked about it is that it forced people into some conversations early, and even within the 4 weeks when they get to see each other and see. Here's the other part that you're about to find out. This is not a spoiler alert. This is just the reality. When they leave this current circumstance they're in now, they got to go live together the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's I've seen a few of those episodes.
Yeah. So, you get all of it right from the beginning to make an informed decision. And I'll never forget in season 1, and this is not a spoiler alert on the results, but it is an example of the situation. One of the couples, he's all in love, and oh, my baby, and oh, I love you, and you're my fiance, and da, da, da. And she's like, okay, we got to have a real conversation. He was like, what happened? She's like, I got debt. What? I got student loan debt out the bootay. And she was like, what? He was like, what? She's like, yeah, I got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of student loan debt. And he was like, whoa. And it threw him for a minute because he was like, he had perfect credit and ran his own business and, and he was like, God, dog. Well, like she laid her bills out for him. And he was like,
in a pod, having conversation, do they have, like, in other words, a list of things saying, okay, in this pod, divulge all this information in the time frame that's given?
I think they have parameters by which they can discuss things. I think they can't get into, like, life-specific things. Like, they can't get into job. They can't get into financial.
They talk about their job.
Well, but I don't think they go, like, too deep. Like I'm just looking at the pattern of the way the editing goes.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. They may go deeper than what we think, but in the editing, it looks like they don't go. It never is revealed to the watcher that they go too deep. Like, it just kind of do surfacey kind of.
So she should have said, this is not defending her, but I'm saying, so she should have said, and that's not my story either, but I'm saying, so she should have said, okay, for the 5 people that are possibly maybe interested in me or possibly, that I choose from, I want all y'all to know I got some serious debt in my education. I got some serious student loans. So if that's a prerequisite as to what you choose, I just want to let you know that in advance, so then you can make your decision based on that.
Well, that's a great question. That is actually a phenomenal question, and my answer to that is this: the more transparent we are in the beginning of the dating process, the better the decision is going to be.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
Mama
Noise, you and I asked each other some very hard questions in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, listen.
And guess what? Some of them answers was wildly uncomfortable. I think for both of us. We like, damn.
But for me, I guess I am just like the show is. I felt like I'm telling you everything. My table is, I'm putting it all on this table, so then you can decide whether I'm worthy enough of your love. Or vice versa.
But I don't even know if it's just worthy enough. Worthy is probably, I wouldn't use that word. Here's what I would say. This is my opinion. Because I'm looking at my relationship with you, my marriage with you. It wasn't about whether or not you were worthy. I wanted to know some of your hardest stuff because I need to know exactly what I'm walking into. Because what I learned in those moments, and I didn't know it at the time, but I learned it through those conversations, you are the sum total of all of those events. So what I'm getting back in return is those things that you have endured. And 9 times out of 10, well, let me back up. Probably 10 times out of 10, but I'll say 9 times out of 10 because I don't want to say all. We don't do all on this show.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, most of the stuff that you're about to share with me, you have not reconciled all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So am I man enough and willing enough to help you walk through all of your stuff? Watch this. While simultaneously you being strong enough to help me walk through mine. That's huge. That changes the whole scope of dating.
Well,
If we're making people approach it from that perspective, that's a whole different. Now the conversations at the restaurants are wildly different.
Well, that's why I said, I know you said it's not the same thing. I get it. You and Al saying it's not the same thing. But that's why I said us dating for 30 days, you asking me to marry you, and then us getting married within 90 days of that date. That's like.
But Mama Noise, listen, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're looking at the time frame. I don't care about the time frame because guess what? Whether you date for 2 years or whether you date for 30 days, if you're not asking the right questions and getting the right information, it does not matter. And a lot of couples will date for 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, and never get to the meat of what really is happening in this relationship. And then they get in and then they're shocked that the person they married is completely different than what they thought they were. That's huge. I'm telling you, I think, right. And I like the way Tara put it. She said, can I deal with your red lines? Can you deal with mine? Am I strong enough to say, I know this thing about you? How about the guy who marries the girl and then finds out after they get married, she's been gang raped and she doesn't like sex? Now, are you ready to walk her through that process, knowing that all the sex you thought you was going to get, that ain't going to happen for a while? Not until she heals. That's huge, man. But a lot of times we don't do. I'm trying not to spoil those for those who want to watch it, because we do need. I think now that I know Al's watching, that's good. We can have some good discussions on the show about it. So this is good. But
seriously, we had a discussion about the Love Is Blind. I think seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, I still do that.
I still do, and it was one of the most highly watched episodes of I Still Do
series. Right.
The rewatch was bananas because folks was like, nobody was talking about this particular Netflix show. Nobody was talking about it and having the discussion about it after having watched it.
Right. It's really a fascinating. So listen, I've said this before on this show and on I Still Do. I am not a reality show fan. I could care less about reality shows. I'm not a fan. What got me intrigued about this is that they promote it as a social experiment. And that's really exactly what it is. It is a social experiment to see if the theory of Love Is Blind is true. And they approach it from that perspective. And so then you're watching it going, man, this is a lot. Like you can see, if you're seasoned a little bit, you can kind of see the problems coming. You can see some of the stuff, the cracks in the foundation, whatever. And you say to yourself, well, can they overcome that? Well, what if that was the societal standard where you had to lay your ish bare early? Then as a man, but here's the other part too. Now, here's where it gets really sticky. By everybody laying their ish bare, you find out what kind of man you are, and you find out what kind of woman you are. Because if everybody's laying their stuff out, and we're all running from helping each other, because a lot of men are going to hear it and go, I ain't built for that. A lot of women are going to hear it and go, I ain't signing up for that.
Yeah. Well, it does help you analyze
And by the
yourself.
way, that may not be a bad thing, Mama Noise, Al. That may not be a bad thing because everybody's not built for everything. But maybe at least we can start to match up the people that are built for it with one another. And now the people who can go on these journeys with each other, they can go on those journeys and support each other and build healthy, functioning marriages. That'd be interesting to me. That'd be fascinating to me.
Well, I mean, that's the part that blows my mind is that you're absolutely fascinated about it, and you're saying, okay, I've never seen this person. You're getting all this information, and you're saying, okay, my child came in here and disturbed my train of thought.
You told her to come in there.
I did, but I'm saying that it's like you're. I don't know. I can't.
No, I know. I think I know what you're trying. You were thinking. You're. Listen, the word we're all looking for is it's complete transparency. You're saying you got issues, I got issues. What are those issues, and why waste our time if I'm not built to help you with your issues? Don't matter how fine you are. Don't matter how much in your bank account. If I can't handle who you are, then why are we doing this?
Wait a minute. You said it doesn't matter how fine you are. Okay, wait a minute. Now, like I said, without saying anything specific, like Tara mentioned back in the chat a little.
Say something specific. You can't help yourself.
Tara said a while back in the chat when you go through all that and say, man, I'm totally compatible with this person. They've laid all of their stuff out on the table. I adore it. I think this is my soulmate. I am just in love with this person until you see them. And you say, it doesn't matter. Okay.
But that's the show. I'm talking about reality now.
Well, let's move it to reality. I think that is the problem, because we put so much focus on that irrelevant stuff, and that's the stuff that's not going to get you through the hard times. So that's why I like the show, because they have to get deeper than what's on the surface. Good sex ain't going to get you through the hard times.
No.
Because there's going to come a time, if you married long enough, sex is the furthest thing from your mind. You might think you're going to be blowing backs out and doing
5 times a week and all that,
for the duration of your, but it's not. So good looks is going to fade. So, that's part of the problem. My opinion, just my opinion. Don't mean nothing.
I think it's we're in an interesting dynamic in this conversation, because we're really ultimately saying that in order for us to build a new community, the level of transparency and honesty has to go to such heights that we lay it all bare from the beginning. And that's different. That is different, man. If that first, man, you know how much heartbreak you can save if on that first date I learned all the things I need to know about you.
It's funny, but not funny. I told a friend, I said, in 10 days, you're probably not even gonna know my full name, because I have to know. And the reason why I say funny, not funny, is because I have to know before I lay all of my being at your footsteps that you're worth it, that the relationship is going to be worth it. I don't want to pour it all out. For example, the show. Let's go back to the show.
Okay.
Bartiz thought Raven was the one, right?
Right.
Boy, so he pouring his heart out. And what's Miss Raven over there doing? Working out.
Yeah.
Jumping jacks and and pelvic thrust, and he can hear that. And then the next date they had, he explained that to her, and she just kind of laughed it off.
Right. Like it was nothing.
So he poured his deepest moment, his deepest life experience out to her, and she just kind of shrugged it off. So 10 days, you probably ain't gonna even know my full name. I'm just being real.
He wasn't worthy of that man pouring his heart out.
Well, you can say that, Mama Noise, but the other part of that is maybe she doesn't have the capacity to access that part of who she is yet.
Or does she need a switch or something that says, okay, I'm not interested after you done heard whatever. It's not wasting that man's time.
She told him up front. I generally love, well, not up front. I don't know what date they were on. I generally love less than I'm being loved. Men normally, I think her exact words was, men normally love me more than I love them.
Right.
Like, wow.
Oh, okay.
I think, but that speaks to some scarring, probably. That probably speaks to, and I'm sure the episodes will reveal that as time goes on. Listen, it's not flawless. That's what I'm saying. And I think to be able to bear it like he did also helped him make a decision. Like, oh, okay. So you're not it. You don't have the capacity to handle this part of who I am. Now, it appears it's going to get messy, but we'll see what happens with that. It could get messy here in a minute. But I think it's better. Listen, I've said this 1.5 million times. I'll say it 1.5 million more. It is so much better to get divorced before you get married than it is after. So much easier to get divorced before you get married than after. Because you can just walk away. And if I'm at the Applebee's with you and you show me that you don't have the emotional capacity to deal with my real ish, then that makes it simple for me. All thing I lost was a few dollars on the meal. And that sets a new standard. And by the way, we need that kind of transparency in our community, because we need to know what folks' intent are so we can build around that. So if there's a whole section of people that just want to have sex and be wild and free, then let's put them in their own club, in their own area, and they can just do whatever they do.
Listen. But see, some people say that, Mr. Noise. They be saying it. It's sort of like what y'all said a little, just a few moments ago. You say that. And matter of fact, the guys here on this here podcast said on Uncorked Wine that, there are some women that are willing to wait them out. So that woman is thinking that this relationship is going somewhere. He's patient, he's kind, and he's willing to wait. And he's that guy, but really you just trying to wait her out to see if, when you can get the sex. So then you could be out because now you got what you waited for.
Well, first of all, Mama Noise, while I appreciate your soliloquy, I need to inform you that everybody's waiting each other out now. It ain't just men waiting out women. Everybody waiting each other out. I'm not going to give you this cookie until you've earned it. And I'll say whatever you think I need to say to get flued out. That's the same game. It's a different approach, but it's the same game. I'll tell you whatever you need to hear to get you to buy this, to get you to pay for that, to get you to flew me out, I'll do whatever. I'll say whatever to get this Birkin. You know what the Birkin is? I got to say what I got to say to get this Birkin. So it's all, but I'm saying if that group of people, if that's where their mentality is, that's fine. But y'all go over there. Take that over there. We got a section of the park for y'all. Be out and do what y'all do. But
it used to be the church.
No, you can't do it at the church.
It used to be the church was the place that you saying that's the place where I'll find the person that is going to be honest, person with integrity, the person who has character, And a person who wants to get married, there's nobody that's just garden tooling it up in the church. That was my, that's what I thought.
I don't know if that's true. I think it's been the garden tool shows up everywhere. I really do. In the church we grew up with, they was garden tools. We knew guys that were knocking off the whole choir. A soprano, alto, not a tenor, but soprano, alto.
They're probably doing tenors too.
And maybe doing the tenors too. I don't know. Who knows? It's wild in these streets. Hold'em is not locational.
Oh my gosh.
Which Way Is Up came out in the 70s.
Right.
And it talked about some of the shenanigans going on in the church house.
I'm just saying. But again, I don't have listen, if that's the life you want to live it, but take it over there. Let's not mix, and let's not society lift that up as the standard by which we allow all Black men and women to exist. That sounds, I don't know if I said that right. But you understand what I'm saying? Like right now, that is the well, I won't even parse it. I'll ask you guys, who has the greater viability in our community? Is it the guy that can knock off a lot of women, the girl that can get flued out by multiple men, or is it the happy couple that's been married for 23 years?
Which one? What
has the viability? Is celebrated more in our community? They don't make songs about we've been together for 23 years.
No.
They'll make movies about couples that have been together and endured all.
No.
I'm gonna say the couple.
Okay.
Because the likelihood of sustained success, viability, lies within the couple.
Right.
Because just because you being flued out, as you say,
right.
However you say it.
Shout out to the City Girls who came up with that. Not my City Girls.
That can go just as quick as it came. You can get flown out and then get stranded in Cabo. So where's the viability in that?
Diddy and what's that child's name? Carisha, aka Young Miami, did an interview together. They're dating, and she said, "I ain't looking for nothing serious," and he said, "I'm not either. We just having fun." But we've stated that from the very beginning. You're having fun. I'm having fun. We can do what we want. We can date who we want. We're not a couple. We're just a couple of people having fun. And while it's not ideal image-wise for something that I want for my children, it's celebrated. Their honesty and transparency is celebrated in today's society. Now, seen an interview with Courtney B. Vance, and he talked about how he and Angela Bassett have been together all these years. I think he and Angela Bassett have been married exactly the same amount of years we have, I think so. And they were talking about how, their marriage and all the stuff they, how they stick together, how they work together to build it and to support each other and blah, 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 blah. That didn't go viral. That interview did not go viral. Most of you just heard about the Courtney B. Vance interview right now when I talked about it. So to me, we're in love with the ratchet and the foolishness. And we're celebrating that and saying, everybody gets to do what they want to do, which is, by the way, true. Everybody does get to do what they want to do. But I think when you eliminate accountability from a society or from a culture, you do irreparable damage to that culture. I don't never hear about Indian families doing this. I don't hear about Asian families doing this. Maybe they do. And maybe if we were to interview an Asian young group of young people, they say, "Oh, people are cheating in Asia all the time." How do you think they got 6 billion people? Was that racist?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. Well, but I'm talking about today's standard, though, Tara. I'm not talking about yesterday. The standard today is everybody can do what they want to do, and everybody's okay with it. And maybe it's always been the way everybody can do what they want to do because these men wasn't doing it by themselves.
What?
They were choosing some woman to do it with.
Yeah, but some of them.
What up, Ron Nolan? Hurry home, man. Hurry home. Go ahead, Mama. What you say?
You said they had somebody to do it with. Well, it's like they were, at least in our culture, I believe that, well, not just our culture, women were property. Women were property. It was like, I want to marry your daughter. Oh, you do? Oh, he got a good job and he got some property. So, okay, then, that's why we, even though as much as we fuss about color purple, that was facts. I need somebody that's going to cook for me. I need somebody to wash these clothes. It wasn't because we love each other. It was because women were property. And they needed some help to round up, this, that, and I need help out here. So then you wanted to have a bunch of children to help. That's what my grandmother said, who had a baker's dozen, 13 kids, that was saying that, the more kids you had, the more help you had on your farm, your property. So it wasn't that, oh, we love each other so much, we haven't, we want to have all these kids as a, to show for all the love we have between each other. It's because, it's a product of each time was a child. And we want to keep having these children so we can have some help here on this farm. No. So, I mean, it's like, okay, women really weren't saying, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to do this over here. You really didn't have rights to decide what you do and what you don't want to do.
Right, but okay, but you're talking about your grandmother's situation. Over the last 30 years, everybody out here doing whatever they want to do.
But then that's probably the thing I'm talking about is that now folks is wilding because there's not, they're like, so I can choose to or not to. Where before it was like, I didn't, okay, I just have to comply to whatever daddy said. Daddy said, this is my husband right here. And that's, that's just the way it is. Now I'm an adult woman. I'm independent. I got my own job. I can make my own money. I get my own car. I got my own place. I got my own.
Mama Noise, I got you on with the own soliloquy you just did. I got it. But my thing I'm trying to help you with is some of these folks ain't got their own and they still doing what they want to do. The whole game has changed because now people are saying marriage is not the goal for everybody. Survival is. Tara saying it was survival back then. It's still survival. It's just a new form of it. People are deciding to say, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna do it how I want to do it, and I'm gonna get by and get over doing what I want to do. If I literally was talking to a friend today, and we were talking about a guy that we know who is our age, and he's still running these streets out here. Still running these streets, trying to get ass. That sounds crazy to me. That sounds insane to me. To be like, and I don't mean he's in monogamous relationships. I'm saying he's jumping from bed to bed. Like it's okay, like that's okay. And to be honest with you, I guess it is okay because he gets to do what he wants to do. That's what we've set up societally. But it looks crazy. And it sends a really negative message to the community, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, Mama Noah.
I mean, I hear you because I mean, I'm thinking, but then from my, from a woman's perspective, I'm thinking, okay, then some of these women are like, look, because I know, as some have said here on this here podcast, that there is the pool of single men to choose from, and perhaps vice versa. You saying, man, I don't want to put up such a stronghold that now, when you can go down the street and there is no stronghold. I'm saying, okay, now look, hold on. Let's take some time. Let's get to know each other. Let's do this and that. And then you got Trixie over here that's saying, come through.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. It's always had that dynamic. It's just louder than it ever has been before. Trixie always been saying, come through. Trixie was saying come through when our grandmothers and grandfathers were doing it. That's how it started. When Papa was a Rolling Stone back then.
Well, then we have a whole lot of work to do.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Papa was always a Rolling Stone.
But see, then that's why our men believe that, he been rolling all this time. Why should we be committed, loyal, and men of integrity and stuff now when Papa got to do whatever he wanted to do?
Right. But it's even worse now because now Papa got to pay for it. Papa ain't out here by himself because Trixie's saying, well, listen, I don't have to just let you do it. I can let John do it and Jimmy do it and Tony do it and Arthur do it and Mr. Charlie do it and Mr. Buford do it. I can let whoever I want to do it. I'll have to wait on you. Which makes the situation much more challenging societally because if everybody get to do what they want to do, we got a real problem on our hands.
Yeah.
We got a real problem on our hands.
Well, we do. But I'll be honest with you. Every time I think about the problem we have on our hands, I start to understand why all the way back in biblical times, it was the parents that said, okay, now we're going to help you choose who your husband should be. Because we're going to screen him. We know who his mama and them is, his daddy now, his peoples.
But I think that's why this new standard of transparency that we're talking about could be real important because you can go back to some of that and say, okay, who is your peoples? And who did he learn his values from? And if he learned it from Mr. Buford, we're like, oh no, that's strike one.
What you say?
As if he learned it from Mr. Buford, that's strike one. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I think that a lot of guys don't want to meet the parents because they know the parents can see. But then you have to have a relationship with your child to be able to, that they trust you enough to say, okay, if I told you Draymond is not the type of guy for you, then you have to trust me. Not just because you saying, Dad, Draymond fine. Draymond got a nice ride. He got his own place. You got to trust that parents are looking at it like, okay, Draymond, when she got out the car, he didn't open the door for her. He's not treating her with the respect. He talks cash crazy to her. I'm concerned about this dude because I can see the traits that are saying he's not a good dude.
But Draymond is a reflection of his experiences. And so at his core, here's the other reality that we got to focus on too. Draymond is a reflection of his experiences and his circumstances and the stuff that he has been through. So guess what? Draymond might not, at his core, be a good guy who does dumb stuff because he don't know no better. And he might be coachable. You might be able to get in Draymond's ear and say, hey, Dre, I noticed what you're seeing, but here's an alternative. And then he go, wow, I like that. I'd like to be that guy instead of this guy.
So you're saying, if I understand you correctly, and I'm speaking for Cuz Noise that's not here tonight as the defender of the earth, that you're saying that
Defenders of the earth.
There you go.
That when the father is involved, excuse me, to be able to see this young man that says he wants to see your daughter or date your daughter or whatever, that the missing component of him being there and be willing to help cultivate a young man that could be a good candidate. Because
let me say this: you're definitely not speaking for Cuz, because Cuz has said several times on this show he ain't cultivating shit. You don't want to be involved in none of that.
But if the father
Al,
is
am I wrong? Am I wrong, Al?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But if the father is missing, then how can he take him under his wing to help cultivate somebody that actually is a good dude, just needs some guidance, like you said, Draymond?
In Cuz's case, it ain't gonna happen. In Cuz's case, it ain't gonna happen. That dude's getting no cultivation whatsoever.
So that means what Cuz is saying is that, in other words, the guy better come already as a full package because he ain't cultivating nobody.
You better have his ish together.
Okay.
Or he don't want. He's hoping his daughter don't let him through the door. I think that's the cultivation of her situation that he's tried to lay bare for her. Don't even open the door for a guy that ain't got it together. That's not emotionally, psychologically, financially, I guess, I'm assuming, got his shit together. Don't even open the door for him. And my thought process was, I want to say the exact same thing to my daughter as well. I would prefer that be the guy. I'm just trying to be a realist in that 9 times out of 10, this dude gonna have some flaws. Now we don't need a project. So I don't want my daughters bringing home a project, like a total project. Like we got to do a whole total extreme home makeover on this dude. But is he gonna have some issues? Probably.
But then we go back to what you said originally, and kind of sort of what Tara said. Can they help you walk through your shit as you help them walk through their shit?
Right.
And deal with your shit, vice versa. Right. They deal with their shit.
Right. We're in a weird, tricky place right now. And the standard, we do all realize, has to change. But man, the work by what makes the standard look like it's supposed to look is equally as difficult. It's equally as difficult because it requires a tremendous amount of commitment societally from all of us to uphold it. And I'm gonna tell you something. Where we are now, some of us are much weaker in holding that stand than others. Some of us are just saying, why? What's the purpose of holding a standard when I can get this bag, when I can get this, when I can do this thing, when I can have this, when I can have that? It's a lot harder to do when you can't get everybody on board. I agree with you, Ron. Ron says, does he have a good foundation? Yes, but he has a crack in the wall. He is fixable, and you can work with that. Yeah, and I'm with you, Ron. I think a crack in the wall should not necessarily forfeit. A hole in the wall would give me pause, because a hole is a much more challenging thing than a crack. But what I can't have is a crack in the foundation. That's not good, because I don't think you can. I don't know if you can rebuild somebody's total foundation, or at least I don't know if I'm built to do it. I don't know, maybe I am. I don't know, but
Well, I'm
I
gonna say,
want you to rebuild your foundation on my child. I would prefer you not do that.
who's supposed to be doing the fixing?
Well, see, that's it. The type of fixing that it takes to fix foundations is tough. Foundations have to be pulled up and started over.
Just saying.
Can you seal a foundation, Al, and then make it work from there? An old foundation. That's not ideal to do that, right?
I mean,
you can, but
wherever wherever it's shifted, you can shore it up, but it's not going to be solid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Texas,
you can shore it up. But
I think it's hard.
Texas is notorious for all kind. There's a lot of companies that are called to fix the foundation. People.
You missed the double entendre moment.
I didn't entendre.
What? Double entendre.
Well,
the double meaning of what I was saying. I think if somebody's had an abusive situation, if somebody has had a drug dealing father, and then for a time they did drugs or sold drugs and followed in his footsteps and went to jail or juvenile detention or whatever, and then came out, and they haven't reestablished their moral compass, that's a hard foundation to build on. Because that person would have, in order to build on that foundation, that person would have had to tore up the entire old foundation and become something completely new.
Okay.
I'm saying, you correct me if I'm wrong. Now, here's the other side of it. If a girl watched her mama be a hoe for her entire life, and it turned her off so bad that she vowed to herself she would never become what her mother was. And by the way, Mama Noise, we know girls like that. But in the midst of that, she has a very negative image of men, because all she's ever seen was men do wrong by women. Maybe that girl's foundation can be altered a little bit. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But it's I said earlier in the show, you are the sum total of all the events of your life. So I don't know. I mean, what do y'all think?
we as a society, we're going to always take the easy fix. We don't want to redo the foundation. So men aren't going to invest in completely repairing a woman, and it's unfortunate because oftentimes that's That's what's needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just want a quick fix. So if I assure you that I'm not the sum of your past, that I'm not going to cheat on you, abuse you, verbally or physically, whatever the case may be, we think that's enough, and it's not. We've shored up we put a brace to hold that corner up, but that foundation is still cracked, and it's still shifted underneath.
We're about to run out of time, but I want to ask a question. Do we have enough people? Wow, that's a tough question to ask right at the end of the show. Do we have enough people who have solid foundations that can help?
Shit, do we have any people with solid foundation?
I think we got some. I just don't know if we have enough to
pull them all together and
that are all willing to say. So I think Oprah intended to do something like what we're talking about with that show called Black Love. Y'all familiar with that show?
Yeah.
I think the intent of that show was for this, what we're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the show is that I see is that I'm not sure if it, and maybe I haven't seen enough of the show, so I could be completely wrong here. But I it doesn't feel like it locks down the standard.
We mean lock down the standard.
So like at some point we got to define what the standard is, and give people an obtainable thing, or what appears to be an attainable thing. Like, so what does a healthy relationship, marriage look like? Is it skirting perfection? What does a healthy marriage and relationship look like? And if we can, if we haven't truly laid down a clarity of what it looks like in the midst of what we're seeing, then it's just entertainment. Like that show, from what I can tell, is entertaining. Like the stories are entertaining, but hopefully they should be encouraging to people to say, "Hey, man, love is out there. It is possible. I can find it if I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z." But I don't know. I'm not sure the episodes that I saw or the clips that I saw. I won't say I saw an episode, but the clips that I saw didn't necessarily speak to here are what we think are the steps. And maybe the steps are different for everybody. I don't know, but I'm just trying to understand what. Maybe I'm not making that make sense like it should. I'm just trying to say when do we discuss what the standard is? Where is that form? Where we have that discussion at?
It's a great question.
Yeah, and I think that's a crime, Ron. Those that don't help to build strong foundations for others, I think that's criminal. And I agree with you, Tom. I think there was a lot of transparency to as much as folk felt, what they wanted to reveal, and a lot of people revealed quite a bit. If we're being honest, a lot of people revealed quite a bit. I guess what I'm looking for is that next step challenge societally of that we put out there and say, now that you've seen this, here's what's next. I'm you're so quiet tonight. You're not normally this quiet.
No, I mean, I'm giving you an echo.
Yeah, we've come full circle. Started with an echo. We're in it.
I've seen the show. I've seen a couple of the clips. I agree. What's the next step? You know, we can just, if we're just, I mean, it's good that we're seeing, you know, different types of relationships under different circumstances and so forth, that have been through the fire and the flood, people that have had sickness in their marriages and things like that. But I think they give you a certain amount of truth. And it's kind of, you know, like in other words, this, you know, they don't go any further than this line, you know. That's my only challenge is, you know, you're gonna put it out there. It's like I never saw and all the ones I saw, I didn't see anybody that had infidelity as an example.
I think there's been some.
I'm saying I didn't see much of that. I saw, you know, a couple of little challenges that vanilla stuff. I saw some vanilla. I saw black vanilla love.
Okay.
But every now and then I saw, you know, somebody who was extremely sick, and then, you know, either the spouse or whatever stayed with them to ride it out through the treatments and things like that. I saw a couple of those, but there was those are just the ones I'd seen. And, you know, I'm sure that was a long time ago that I saw it. So I'm sure there's been a lot of additions to you know, to that show. But, you know, from the ones I saw, I was like, okay. Because I see you, I see you, Tara. I didn't even see the one with Jada's mom on there, and all that wasn't on there back when I saw it when it first started.
You didn't do it at the red table?
Listen, I don't know. Black vanilla love. That's what I said, Kyrie.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, it looks like we may have to pick this up next week, because this is starting to get good. I like this new Black City idea. How do we get it going? Shoot, that might be a separate show that we start here right here at Noise Media and Entertainment. Building the new Black City or something.
Mm-hmm. New Black City.
Okay. While Mama Noise works out the depths of her theme song for the new show, pay attention to this advertisement. I love a good game night, and then so that'll be Saturday night. But Friday night, we got a fun. Listen, I know the advertising is very menacing and intense, but trust me, tomorrow night's gonna be a lot of fun and very, very funny. We keeping it fun.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. So I was like, I miss Family Feud night. Yes, she did, but we got. I don't know what Al got planned for us this weekend, but I'm sure we're gonna have a good time. I like what Anthony Bruce said. He said, I think if we start building better people, things will fall into place. And I think that's what where we might be headed with all of this discussion. How do we build better people? What are the steps in building better people? So until then, we will get back into that discussion. But for some reason this week we're having to end a little bit earlier than we normally do, and that's fine because y'all know what it is. We know y'all love y'all know we love y'all. So there you go. But we'll be back tomorrow night to do it all over again. Hope y'all are ready to watch us and enjoy the show. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Chocolate City, the Chocolate Rainbow. Yeah, the Chocolate City, the new Chocolate City.
New Chocolate City.
So with that being said, thank y'all for watching tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night. Do it all over again. Peace.